Hello, everyone. Welcome to second part of my story. So if you have forgotten, my name is Han Xiao and I am now on the run from the organization. And right now I am in a train's cattle cart with chickens surrounding me. As I see the mission screen in front of me giving me a mission to destroy the Mangyu organization. And it would take at least 20% of its demise to complete this mission. As I thought, it would be better for me to accept the mission rather than declining it according to my current circumstances. That was one of the main missions I could do right now. As now I have reached the western capital of the Star Dragon Empire, it would be harder for me to get inside with all the weapons I'm carrying, and also I would be on their list of the wanted because of what I did to the organization. Even though that is true, it wouldn't affect me much as I am a veteran of the game. I know every single loophole of this game and I just had to find an NPC who would be my ticket to inside the walls of the city. The person I'm looking for is a smuggling NPC who can smuggle anything in and out of the city. With a little bit of money, anything can be achieved by this NPC. I used the guns and ammunition I was carrying as payment to the NPC who smuggled me into the city. As I entered the city, I prepared myself to get each and every advancement I could as early as possible so I could gain more firepower for time when I will be going against our whole organization. As I found those people who required for me to get this advancement, they were just playing 5 in a row but in a very competitive manner, to which I was surprised. As I was observing the old man playing 5 in a row, a girl came out from the workshop inquiring if I had any needs, as I told her I would like an apprenticeship at the shop. She was very quick to pull me inside, as it was a little bit surprising for me, because I had never seen this character inside the game. As a test for the apprenticeship, she asks me to fix an electronic item, to which her grandfather, the owner of the shop, asked me the reason that why I wanted to become an apprentice, but I just gave him a reason that any other would say, that I was just looking for a job. And this was my expertise, but instead of an electronic item which was given to me before, he wanted me to build a lightweight arm, a prosthetic to be exact, for his friend. But when I saw the person who was with the grandpa, it was like a person who I had seen before. And the girl tried to defend me that building a prosthetic in the 3 hours of time, which he had given, would be almost impossible, but I had taken the challenge as I already had a blueprint in mind, which would have taken the most of time if I had to prepare a new one. I started taking the materials I would need from the workshop when the girl offered me a blueprint. But I rejected her as I already had one in mind. This made them lose their complete confidence in me, that as a person could never come up with a blueprint for the prosthetic in just 2 minutes. As the owner tried to warn me, I gave him my assurance that it was in my control and I started building the prosthetic. The grandpa started closely observing me and he even understood as the arm started taking its appearance that I did have something in my mind and I was not bluffing at all. With that, I created the arm required for the old man 30 minutes earlier than the given time. They were definitely shocked by what happened there, and I could say that it was the right thing for me to do. When I tried to fit the arm to the old man, it was a perfect fit and he even thanked me, for which the owner of the workshop got a little bit jealous and asked him to thank him as materials provided for arm were his property. With that, I passed his test and got a job in the workshop, and it was my first step to acquire all his blueprints. As the friend of the owner left the workshop, he got a call that a person named Zero, an international terrorist, is in the western capital. The security division of the capital started to keep an eye out for Zero. The Mangyu organization even kept a bounty of $150,000 on my head, which had taken a huge hit on my safety. In order to live in this world, I know that I have to gain more experience. So I went to the boss of the underworld of the 7th district. When I was in there, his man tried to stop me with a gun to my head, but I caught the gun from a point-blank range, started talking to the boss. That I could get them a huge steal so that I could manufacture some of the items that they would need, like guns and ammunition, and I would get money and also the parts one would need for my future as a payment. I scraped some material from the junkyard which I thought would be useful right now. And I returned to the workshop. Owner's granddaughter asked me about where I was. And when I explained that I went to the scrapyard to get some materials, she tried to warn me about the people there. I just acted like I was listening to her words, but really it was time for me to get into the work. As I came down from my room, I asked Mr. Liu, the owner of the workshop, to lend me some of his mechanical books so I could learn, but he refused me directly. But for an answer to that, the granddaughter of Mr. Liu gave me those books without any second thought. He was pretty hit by that, his granddaughter. would take the side of an unknown person rather than her own grandpa. I invested some of my points into learning those books and started preparing myself for the future as a person from outside has spotted me and planning something to do. A few days later, the business was slow on that day and the girl asked me as what I was doing. When I was preparing a robot to boost my experience points, a person came into the workshop to get something fixed. He came in saying that his car was broken down at the junction and wanted someone to fix it. As the girl is getting ready to go, he wanted me to do it as he was saying that the girl would get dirty if she had done work herself. But as I knew he was just another spy, as I found out because of his movements and the silent footsteps, I think I had a chance to gain something from it and went on as directed. When I started repairing his car, he started doing some small talk to get more information out of me. But I was no stranger to these kind of things as I had lived a long life before I even came here, so I gave him my kind of attitude with a little conversation. I asked him a cigarette. He understood that a man with my kind of character could not be from the capital as a native. Even though he wanted me to answer his question. I repaired the hydraulic pump which was broken in there in just a few minutes and I got my payment. As he was trying to stall for a few moments, I just asked him if he was trying to get a discount, which threw him a little bit off balance. He reported to his boss that I was talking that I identify myself as Han Xiao and my true level couldn't be estimated. But I was definitely a rude character. After a few more days, the state of the workshop has been great. But being all of them were men, the girl thought I was a homo. Keeping that aside, that day, I even completed the robot on which I have been working for the last couple of days. I even named that guy the Ranger 1.0. With the completion of his manufacturing, I got another quest in which I had to escape after being chased by many people who were eyeing on the bounty set on me. The next day I took a day off from the workshop to visit the scrapyard to meet the boss of the underground. That day he invited me to dinner and eating he tried to make me kneel in front of him and give him all my gun manufacturing techniques. This idiot who is still wet behind his ears trying to scare me was just an inside joke in my head. To explain what kind of shit he is dealing with right now, I asked him to check the database of the newest bounties. But that fellow was just clueless and thought I was just making up a random thing, so I could get time to escape. In that moment, I felt a gun pointed at my head from the backside, so in the span of a moment, I equipped myself with the light mechanical arm. I made again and started fighting them back. While fighting I shot 3 of his men who were inside the building and the boss called the men that were waiting outside to get in and kill me. At the same time, the government group of mercenary attacked with their squad. It gave me a little bit of time to get my head back into the game. I dodged many of the bullets and hid behind a bunker to evaluate my plan of action. I started blasting them with the blaster on my mechanical arm with bankers as my shields. I did pretty much a good damage. The gang was surprised to see many people after me. And now seriously thinking what I said could be even true. Fortunately for this I had already made my preparations and launched Ranger 1.0 into the battle while controlling him from a remote. While the mercenaries were trying to counter my robot, the gang people were going after me, taking this as a chance for themselves. After getting all of their attentions, I detonated the robot in the center of the urban area, which caused a lot of mayhem. After that, the boss really looked at the bounty screen and saw a $150,000 bounty on my head posted by none other than the Germinal organization. Due to my mission, I can't get this target in front of me to escape our mercenary groups to get all the rewards. So I blasted the last bit of the gang members and got captured by those mercenaries. And to know what happened there you have to watch the next video. It should be coming soon if you have already subscribed our channel, so thanks for watching this video and see you all in the next one, and so adios amigos.